You know what's funny? Elle Woods won because she was underestimated, and that is the whole game, because society still thinks pink equals silly, softness equals fragile, femininity equals weak. But Elle, she weaponized the stereotype. She turned it into strategy. That's why, 20 years later, she's not just a character in a comedy. She's an archetype, a blueprint. And honestly, that's the secret most women miss. Hi, it's Clara. Welcome back to Intemporelle. If you're new here, well, buckle up. This isn't a channel about girl boss hustle or just be confident, babe. This is about decoding the psychology of elegance, presence, the kind of power that doesn't scream, but makes the entire room shift. And today we're going to talk about Elle Woods. Yes, legally blonde, but not in the cliche way you've heard a million times. I want to show you how Elle Woods is actually a strategy manual for underestimated women and why she's still culturally relevant right now. Let's be real. Society still runs on this boring stereotype. If you're pretty, you can't be smart. If you're feminine, you can't be powerful. If you're soft, you must be fragile. The dumb blonde trope? It's ancient, and Elle Woods walks straight into Harvard Law as the embodiment of it. Everyone laughs, professors, students, even her ex-boyfriend. She's invisible before she even speaks. But here's the paradox. Invisibility is power, because when they don't see you coming, you can flip the entire game. Do you remember that scene at the beginning? Warner breaks up with her because, quote, "If I'm going to be a senator, I need to marry a Jackie, not a Marilyn." That line sets up the entire psychology of the movie. Jackie Kennedy, elegant, restrained, serious. Marilyn Monroe, glamorous, sensual, underestimated. Elle is instantly dismissed as a Marilyn, too sparkly, too pink, too much. But here's the twist. Elle doesn't try to become a Jackie. She doesn't ditch her signature. She proves that Marilyn energy, when combined with discipline and brains, can outclass them both. That's not just feminism light, that's chess. And honestly, that's what my private journal is all about, decoding these contrasts every single week. If you love this type of psychology meets style breakdown, I share a new article there every week. The link is in the description. All right, now back to our main breakdown, the movie itself. This is what I call the Elle Woods operating system. Except being underestimated, it's camouflage. Over-deliver quietly. Surprise is leverage. Turn your signature into a weapon. She didn't swap pink for gray suits. She made pink the new black. Invisible discipline. Elle wasn't lucky. She studied harder than everyone else, but she made it look effortless. That's chic. By the way, if discipline and glow up are your thing, I created a Notion planner called the Glow Up Blueprint. It's basically the chic way to track your invisible effort. Faith. Not the shallow, believe in yourself kind, but the unshakable sense that your worth is anchored in something bigger than a breakup, bigger than Harvard. That's why she lasted in the culture, because softness plus strategy equals dominance. And if you need receipts, let's roll them. The LSAT 179. And let's pause here, because that's not a number you get just for being cute. That's hours of flashcards, late nights, total focus. While the world assumed she was just buying shoes, she fought her way into Harvard. That score is proof that effort beats image every single time. The pool admissions tape. People call it camp, but actually brand strategy. She reframed competence through contrast. The Brooke Wyndham trial. She solves the case using hair chemistry. A girly detail turns into forensic genius. And my favorite, Vivian, the rival who becomes an ally. That's soft power. You disarm, you convert, you build coalitions. Harvard wasn't ready for a woman who color-coded her notes and her wardrobe. Efficiency, babe. And behind that color coding, brutal hours of grind, invisible to everyone else. That's the psychology of effort, real discipline, hidden under effortless charm. Elle is part of a long lineage of women underestimated on purpose. Jackie Kennedy curated a presidency behind the scenes. Princess Diana turned vulnerability into the most powerful media strategy of her century. And Elle Woods? She's their cinematic heir, wrapped in pink, armed with glitter pens, delivering a Harvard-level case study in perception management. Even the Bible says it. God chose the weak things of the world to shame the strong. It's a paradox. Softness disarms, then conquers. So how do you use this blueprint in your own life? 1. Stop being afraid of being underestimated. If people assume you're just pretty or too soft, good. That's free camouflage. Use it. Surprise is leverage. 2. Discipline is invisible. Elle didn't pass Harvard Law because she was cute. She passed because she studied harder than everyone else while still looking effortless. Invisible effort. That's chic. 3. Feminine details aren't a liability, they're a signature. Elle didn't trade pink for black suits. She made pink the new power suit. That's what timeless women do. They turn personal style into strategy. 4. Protect optimism like it's jewelry, because nothing makes you more magnetic than refusing to be bitter. Cynicism is forgettable. Optimism is unforgettable. 5. Anchor yourself in faith. And listen, I know the movie doesn't mention God, but here's the truth. Believing in something bigger than yourself, that's what makes your presence unshakable. Elle Woods had that inner light that people couldn't put into words. That's not just self-belief, that's alignment with purpose. And if you want to go deeper into this kind of mindset and faith meets elegance approach, my private journal is where I share it weekly, more raw, more personal. It's literally my favorite project. You'll find the link in the description. And honestly, Elle Woods taught us that Harvard Law wasn't ready for a woman who color-coded her notes and her wardrobe. Like, babe, that's efficiency. Or the fact that Bruiser, her chihuahua, was basically the emotional support system every overachiever secretly needs. Tell me I'm wrong. And let me tell you, I felt this too. Times when people looked at me and thought, she's too delicate for this, too young, too feminine, to whatever. And those moments, they sting. But they also sharpen you, because once you realize people are underestimating you, you can stop playing defense and start playing strategy. That's when life gets interesting. So here's the real Elle Woods blueprint. It's not about pink, it's not about Harvard, it's about presence, strategy, and the quiet refusal to let anyone else define you. Elle taught us you can be underestimated, but you should never underestimate yourself. That's the blueprint. That's the lesson. And if you really apply it, your life will feel less like proving yourself and more like simply being undeniable. If you're listening right now and you're nodding, thinking, this is literally me, pause for a sec and tell me in the comments, what's your Elle Woods moment? When were you underestimated and proved everyone wrong? And if you haven't had that moment yet, girl, you will. Stay with me, subscribe, join the Intemporelle circle, because this channel is literally where we train for that. Here's what nobody tells you. Elle Woods didn't win by becoming smarter than the men. She won because she was different from them. And difference is always more powerful than imitation. That's the blueprint. Stop trying to outman men. Outwoman them. Yes, babe. Wear the perfume. Say thank you with grace. Pray before the meeting. And then sign the contract like it's nothing. That's Elle Woods energy. So if there's one thing to take from Elle Woods, it's this. Be underestimated, but never be unprepared. That's the blueprint. That's the game. And if you can embody that balance, softness with steel, you'll be unforgettable. If this resonated with you, tell me your story below. I want to read it. Subscribe if you're new, not because of the algorithm, but because this isn't just a channel. It's a community. Women like us, we don't just watch, we build. And in case you needed one last reminder, what, like it's hard? See you next time, love.